Welcome back to part 2 of What If Deku became a marksman. So, in part 1, I probably explained it just a little bit of it. It came from a certain game of Suffer, the Suffer game. So, this is what it is. Yeah. So, if you haven't seen part 1, so go check it out. But now, so, in part 1, I kind of showed, or so I basically bring Hero Killer Stain into this What If before, and I killed him off like right then and there because yeah. So, so now the Zuko, and plus I also forgot to mention or probably didn't forget, and I just don't remember that his his own other, basically. So, All for One and the Quark Doctor switched his real mom with a clone, basically a robot version that looks so real. So, yeah. So then yeah. So, but no one knows about it. So, then the real Inko became the experiment that went failed. And yeah. So now so then so now the Quark Doctor, and so All for One did restore, or no, Quark Doctor added regeneration because it was he wants to see again, as the Quark Doctor gave Zuko the actual quirk of regeneration. And Zuko already had a quirk. Was in his, brain, back of his own core of his own brain. Where it is basically Zuko had flaming reincarnation, basically. It's like a phoenix, but instead of it lasting 100 years, or every 100 years thing, or every 1,000 years, he become it. So Zuko's quirk gives him cuts it all the way down to 5 seconds. So every time he dies, he gets come back to life after 5 seconds. So yeah, Zuko was pretty tough. And how I got that one is from the critter that I forget his name, but he has. I probably won't show it because I don't want any kids to basically to have nightmares about it. So yeah. So then Zuko was. So now he got his eyesight back, and so he can do whatever he wants. and the yeah. And so here Killerstein has been killed off, and in this what if, and now so now we're moving on to hero, so versus villains, heroes versus villains at USJ. So the Zuku shows up with a league of villains, and they basically, as Bakugo can't believe that his own friend, or when they showed up, when they see, or when Bakugo sees Anzuku is like a one man army, as he could use cannons as it aims right at them, as Bakugo is scared, frozen, because he knows that he's about to, because yeah. So then, but actually, let's say no one knew that it was Zuku, as Bakugo, or as Ochako looks really close at his details of his hair thing and his facial thing, as Bakugo could tell that is Zuku. As Bakugo says, that's Zuku Midoriya, your brother. Yeah. So, why is he aiming the cannon, or why does he have a cannon shooting out of his back and blade arms? As they all were, so the I forget his name. There's Shirakusen, Kirigiri, yeah. So Kirigiri explains that this is a power that he was born with. Yeah. And as when Bakugo and Zumi heard, and plus Ochako heard that it was Zuku had a power to become like gunsmen, and I believe that you made him blind, Bakugo, or Kasuke Bakugo, and he wants his revenge on you. As he's pointing the gun right at Bakugo. Yeah. So Bakugo ends up like, he flies away. And the cannon blasts, boom, boom. As Bakugo, because let's say it was a very small group of Shirakusen, Kirigiri, the Nomu, and Zuku. Yeah. And so, because boom, because Zuku doesn't need, like, or basically they know that when as Bakugo was, yeah, Izuku runs, or no, so Ochako, or so Eraserhead and can't erase the powers of the Zukus, and so yeah, so then, but he can't erase the Shiraki senses as Ochako is making a really dumb move. As she asks 13 if it's okay with if I could, or this is what she says, if I can get close to Zuko and convince him that the I'm always here for him. And she's not embarrassed to say that she loves him so much. So, yeah, so then 13's like, you're just a student, and he's the villain. Well, the who would you choose? And if, or this is your choice, 13. If I know that we all want to be heroes, but we also want to save each other from it. As or as 13 sees what she's trying to say, I see. You're trying to convince him to stop firing on Bakugo so that the... Yeah. Okay, I see. Oh. So Bakugo is getting blasted as Ochako walks up closer. As Zuko sees, as he turns around, or he hears a heartbeat and steps as he stops firing. He turns around and she basically, or he could recognize what scent Ochako is emitting off of her body. As Zuko says, Ochako, is that you? As Ochako says, as this, yes, it's me, him. She remembers, or I'm not, or as she says, I'm not fake. I'm a real one. And as she calls him darling, Ezuku's tears as he can't then hold it in, as he sees Ochako as, because he cares about her. He would rather blast Bakugo, but besides that, he cares about Ochako. So, as she tells him to stop firing on Bakugo, for as he puts his guns away. Like, basically, because they are on his back. So they can rotate back and down. As Ochako hugs him. And Zuko was, as he can tell, that he has a humongous crush on him, or on her. So as Zuko walks up slow, or actually he gives her a hug. He did transform his arms back into a human arm so that doesn't accidentally cut her into bacon bits. So he hugs her as she loves him so much that even she didn't care if he was a monster, a freak show, or anything like that. So, and yeah. So then as so now the pro hero shows up, or so the Nomu was about to attack to kill Ochako off, but the gun, or so Zuko's aims his guns at the him as he pulls a blade out and stabs the Nomu's brain, pulls it out as he's like, ugh. Sorry, you had to see that, Ochako. And she's like, that's okay, sweet pea. As Ochako loves him to death, basically. She doesn't care if who would be. As long as she's with Zuko, she's always going to be happy with him. No matter how many times. So, yeah, the Zuko was pretty tough. So then So then the villains became, so every other people were, so the villains, so the pro heroes show up and the Zuko was, basically it was a villain, but he didn't actually commit any true crimes, as the detective actually knew who Zuko was because the report said that he killed the hero killer Stain. So, but before, they actually didn't sentence him to anything, but he just wanted his eyesight back. As basically the detective says, how's your eyesight doing? Pretty good. I know that I was angry at Bakugo because as Zumi, or no, not Zumi, the detective could tell that the kid, I know that I'm not going to blame you, but Zuko, or I also know that, how do you feel about joining us? Because since we've been in this fight for a long time, I think we have a chance if you joined the heroes. Sure. So then the Zuko goes in So, what's your game plan? Well, first, I want you to sneak into this little hive looking thing. Because what we believe it's a hive of mutant monsters. They're unstable ones. Well, let's see. So then Zuko looks up their failed experiments. And so, can you get in and to destroy the whatever? Sure. So then he gears up to make sure he has the explosives in his pocket, basically. Because if he knows that he'll make it back for Ochako's sake. So then after he infiltrated and he looks around, he sees like basically dead bodies. There's one that looks like All Might is, or because he had a camera strapped to his shoulder, or he had one, or he actually had one on his like forehead thing, or actually the chest guard thing. As he turns, or All Might asked him to turn, and All Might saw, or he basically made the same face what Dobby is. So Dobby can't believe, or no, actually Zuko can't believe, or no, All Might can't believe that they turned his master into gonna be a monster. And Zuko says, "All right, I made it to the core." As he looks down, I see a panel right here, and you're asking me to hack into it? Sure. So then he accesses it because he remembers every code so for any certain ones. Because one of his, because he was the smartest one, he also had members of every quirks and everything. So when he accesses it, welcome, Quark Doctor. Now, as he says, all right, as he he actually downloads the one file that labeled blueprints. Like every plans, and then he takes it out, and then he puts another one in that's labeled blue, or actually, he labeled both of them memories is the blue microchip thing. The other one that he's put in that he put blueprints on was called blueprints or prints. And when he pulls it out, or because there was another single file called Inco's Memories, he grabs that, puts it in there, and so when he had eject before, as he basically puts it in his pockets. As he's wondering what does, or what does, or as Zuko looks down, it's why does the Quark Doctor have Inko's memories? Then when he looked up, then he saw it. Not that face. He saw a Inko. Or actually Inko. Who's his face. Like her body was in this cocooned like state. As he knows it's his mother. And he could tell that it's a real one. It's his real mother, not... But when he was shocked, as All Might says, "What's wrong, Zuko?" After this, as Zuko tells All Might, after this, can I at least kill the Quark Doctor? And the detective's like, why? As he pulls the camera up to... Because... As Inko... Or, no, so... Let's say Zumi saw this as... Because both Zuko and Zumi had their heads down, like with their fur covering their eyes, their hair covering their eyes, as tears coming down their face. Yeah. And Zumi tells Zuko, yeah, go ahead, and after this is over. As Ochako could tell that something is gonna go, or as Bakugo knows something's gonna go down. And plus, so Zumi tells, so the Quark Doctor, sorry. So he got all the memories of Inko on one thumb drive and the blueprints for number 2, and yeah. So then he goes in, or he climbs up to the core. As he made his arms like basically a blade in, and he says, as he breaks the outer barrier, basically the glass dome on the outside, as he cuts it open, because he doesn't want his... As he grabs... Because the core was wrapped around... Or actually the core... Inko, was like basically was just standing. Like, she can't even move her own body because, yeah. And Zuko says, as he grabs the core, as the core with his bare hand, as he pulls it out, as he uses his blades, cuts the vines that were strapped to Inko's body. Yeah. As the Inko's falls towards the ground, as he basically he'll destroy the core. As he destroys it, and Zuko was pretty mad. So then he turns his both arms into back into from blades to his normal hands, pick up Inko's body, and I almost said the. So she had clothes on, and by the way, she had a outfit that's similar to that girl's outfit. Yeah. But it was green. So when when he took her away from it, as he sets her down on the recovery girl's bed thing, as he turns around, as he blasts so he did leave before, and plus after he destroyed the core, all those unstable monsters were all got destroyed. Basically, they all went boom, 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 explosions. As the main building or main hive was still standing, as Zuko wanted to destroy it, as he does destroy it, because he's not allowing anyone to research anything in it anymore. Yeah, so then he goes away, and Zuko did have a plan, and so let's say Recover Girl wanted to, or Recover Girl had a machine. Basically, the machine was he basically puts memories back into their bodies, basically from a computer to it. So Zuko gave her the memories chip thing that said memories, as he gives it to her. And so, as Inko's body, or so her memories have been returned back to her, and yeah, so she's just needs some rest. But Zuko, after he left, Zuko left, and he goes to the Quark Doctor's office thing, or the villain's base, basically. And he was mad. So he literally shot the Quark Doctor, or actually he points a gun at him. And as the court doctor says, if you shoot me, then I will push this button and the clone of your mother will explode and killing your father and your little sister. As he sent his mousy friend, in, or he did tell the mousy friend of his to go and disable the bomb part. So he does. Like, he leaves. And so then he goes to the robot Inco. And he went up her skirt thing, or metal skirt. And she basically took controlled. Or no, Mousy took control and took her far away. As the Zuko, Mousy basically, as Sashi's like, okay, and she's like, trying to like figure stuff out. And she steps outside and walks like 100 blocks away. Yeah. Away from she went all the way to the villains' base. The hospital villains thing. And the court doctor says, as Zuko pulls the trigger and the court doctor pulls the self-destruct button, as the Inco, or robot Inco, was at the facility already before. And it exploded, but at least the court doctor, or at least the Mousy, made it out of there alive. He grabs Mousy, as he covers him, so that as he runs out, as 10, 9, 8, have fun, as he kicks the robot Inco towards the Quark Doctor, and it exploded as Zuko ran faster than he could. And so, but no matter how fast, he basically, it got to him, and he got turned to ashes. So then they thought it was the last time that they... So he did throw Mousy before. Yeah, and he threw it hard. Or, no, not hard, but he threw... As Mousy caught on the... I call him Mousy, okay? Leave me alone. So, yeah. See how long is... Oh, yeah. So, sorry. This is going to be a little bit longer than part 1. So, Mousy ends up landed right on a tree, or like near the tree, so that the explosion, so Zuko dies, but then he comes back to life, as he's breathing, like, as he's gnawing his head. And as he's like, oh, that was fun. So then, yeah. So then, Zuko. So both the. So both quirks, one was he was born with and one was given to him, actually fused together to create a brand new quirk called Rebirth Flame. What it means is he can regenerate from damage. So basically, what it means is he can come back even stronger every time he does it. But every time he does it, he also gains memories from his past self. Every time. So, yeah. So then Inko came back to life. Or no, she woke up. And she's like, what? As she remembers she used to be at the quack doctor's office, and she got kidnapped, and then that's it. So Zuko was like, huh. As he transforms back into a human, and she walks up, or as he walks up, there you are, her. We were worried about you. Huh. And Zuko was pretty good because so then the court doctor, so Recover Girl says, you'll be alright. It's just your son, your son found out that you went missing. He never gave up on, like, he never gave up searching for you. So, yeah, he was worried. But then when he heard when he heard that there was a big nest thing coming, creating these monsters, he had to go check it out. So then so Zuko did, like, before he did see, like, what happened in her memories things before. And yeah, so that's why he basically killed the Quark Doctor, because it was his idea for her, like, to capture Inko and turn her into a spawner. And yeah, so then so basically Zuko was pretty tough. And yeah, the explosion. So then when Inko says, where's my son, by the way? I'm right here. As he just walked in. I never left your side, actually. So, yeah, and And you're safe, Inko, as Recover Girl reminds her that he that Zuko already punished the villains that were trying, or they kidnapped you and turned you into a monster. How? He's quirkless. No, not exactly. As Zuko says, see, I actually had a quirk the entire time. As Zuko knows, and it was not, or as he says, it's not a lie, it's actually a truth. The quirk doctor did lie to me about not having a quirk, so that's in order to like kidnap you for that. So he was actually speaking the truth, actually. As Inko can't believe it that someone captured her, turned her into an experiment, and yeah. So then, yeah, basically Zuko was pretty powerful, and I even have a special offense abilities too. Because in this world, whoever is born with quirks, or actually, there's 4 tier lists. Because Zuko created a 4th one. There used to be 3. There was quirkless, quirked, and abilities. But Zuko had created both. So the quirkless gets like 0 money, or so $10 million for quirks and $10 billion. But because Zuko has both, it boosts his money to like, yeah, I'm just doing like a little math. So it's 6 trillion tons. Yeah. Basically 10 times more than that. So, yeah, basically Zuko. So, yeah, and Ochaku, who loves him, who he is, not because of his money or anything like that. That's what all girls should do. He all should just be like Ochako. Love a guy who he is, not because of his money or fame or fortune, anything. So yeah. So then basically, so Zuko's actually his body actually did evolve just a little bit because his quirk or his new quirk actually evolved him through, or evolved him too. As Inko doesn't recognize him, but he's actually stayed the same Zuko on the inside. But he was much more manly now, basically. As he sat down with her and he says, or he explains a whole, like, all those years after, and plus Bakugo blinded me with his explosions. And I kind of, as he knows that he basically, as Bakugo, so after he explains, if you watch part 1. Go check it out because it's cool. Yeah, so Zuko walks, after he was done explaining, he walks out. Bakugo walks out with him. And Bakugo tells Zuko that if he wants to kill him now, then go ahead. As he says, no. As he walks up to him, as he's scared of what will he do, or he's prepared for him to get shot at, but instead he gets slapped in the face, like a bear slap, basically, not by his blade, but by Zuko's actual hand, slaps him across the face, sending Bakugo flying. That's what. Now we're even. As Bakugo's like, yeah, I agree. As he's so happy that. Okay? And he couldn't see. Yeah. So the mousy friend of his was still with him. And yeah, the blueprints was with the detective before, and yeah. So now, and so Ochako did visit with, so time skip too. Yeah, so then Sashi was worried that she was gone off her rockers. But then Zuko turns around because Zuko actually explains that the villains switched all for one, or no, the League of Villains switched Inko out for a robot version. And Sashi, after hearing that, and he can't believe that his own son knew about he could sense it. So then, yeah, so Zuko was pretty tough. So then he goes over and, like, he basically gets everything done with. So, Ochako, so, yeah, time skip to, yeah, so Zuko was pretty tough. He joins UA. He's in Class 1A with Ochako. As Ochako, whom... So, time skip. I'm skipping over overhaul because of time thing. And so, so they got married and had kids. And now this is going to be the end of the What If. Please leave a like, share, subscribe. Peace.